Have you ever seen a man touching his face, rubbing his neck, adjusting his collar, or running his fingers through his hair when he is around you? What if I told you these are often more than random habits and can be subtle signs of attraction? When a man likes someone, his self-awareness increases. He becomes more conscious of how he looks, and these small unconscious gestures help him appear more attractive while easing the nervous energy that comes with genuine interest. These actions are not always meaningless. They can show that his attention is focused on you, even if he has not expressed his feelings with words. If you notice these subtle gestures, pay attention to his other body language as well. If you want more psychology secrets about how men show attraction, hit like right now so others can discover these signs too. Learning these quiet signs can completely change how you understand people and everyday interactions. Have you ever noticed how someone can say nothing, yet the atmosphere between you feels different? During a simple conversation, he may lightly touch his neck, straighten his collar, or run a hand through his hair without thinking. These small movements often reveal more than words, because attraction is usually quiet, not dramatic. Psychology suggests that such automatic gestures can reflect nervousness and interest as he tries to stay composed while being close to someone he likes. When a man likes you, his body can sometimes reveal what his mind tries to hide. He wants to appear calm and in control, yet his subconscious often reacts differently. That is why you may notice him adjusting his collar or rubbing the back of his neck while talking to you. He is not simply fixing his shirt. His body is trying to ease the nervous energy that attraction creates. Not every touch means attraction, but one particular gesture can be a much stronger clue than simple friendliness. Instead of overanalyzing his messages or wondering why he has not made a move, pay attention to how he behaves when you are together. That is where body language often speaks louder than words. One of the clearest signs is when he touches his neck. Whether he rubs the back of it, adjusts his collar, or brushes the side, it can reflect nervousness, openness, and genuine interest. The neck is a naturally vulnerable area, so these gestures may appear when he feels both attracted and emotionally exposed. Comment neck if you've ever noticed a man touching his neck around you. Picture the two of you talking about something ordinary. He smiles, stays engaged, then slowly lifts his hand to rub his neck before meeting your eyes again. That small movement is often more than simple fidgeting. It can show his nervous system responding to your presence with attraction and vulnerability. Many women notice this feeling without knowing why. In that moment, he seems more genuine, approachable, and real because he stops trying to appear perfectly confident and simply lets his natural reactions show. Of course, not every neck touch means attraction, so context always matters. If he seems stressed, it may simply be a calming habit. But when it happens alongside open body language, steady eye contact, a warm smile, or playful conversation, it is much more likely to reflect genuine interest. You may notice it after you tease him, compliment him, or hold his gaze a little longer. His hand moves to his neck as his body quietly reveals the impact you have. Rather than pointing it out, simply observe the moment, because it often says more than words. Now consider another subtle signal: a man touching his lips. It is such a small movement that most people overlook, yet once you notice it, it becomes difficult to ignore. The lips are closely connected with expression and emotion, so when someone feels attracted, their attention may naturally shift there. Whether he brushes his lips with his fingers, bites them lightly, traces them with his thumb, or lingers with a cup near them, these gestures can reflect feelings he has not put into words. Type lips if this lip touching sign surprised you and you want more body language fact. This is not only about physical attraction. The lips also symbolize openness and the desire to connect. When a man touches them around you, it may suggest he is lowering his guard and letting his natural reactions take over. Imagine the two of you laughing over coffee. As the laughter fades, he lightly touches or bites his lips before looking back at you. That brief, unconscious gesture can quietly reveal attraction and vulnerability at the same time. But what truly separates simple interest from stronger attraction comes down to the right timing and clear focus. If his eyes glance toward your mouth, at the same time he touches his own that is mirroring, which acts as a subconscious sign of emotional connection. It serves as the body's way of saying, I feel linked with you right now. Of course, not every lip touch means strong desire. Sometimes it is simply nervous energy showing up. But when it happens during a quiet pause, or right after an emotional moment filled with strong eye contact or shared laughter, it is probably genuine. At that point, he is not even thinking about the gesture consciously. His body just responds naturally on its own. The real beauty of this signal lies in its honest and quiet nature. When a man touches his lips near you, he shows exactly where his attention rests without needing to speak any words. In that peaceful silence, you get to see his true feelings, not the carefully prepared version he wants to present, but the actual emotion he holds inside. So the next time you spend time together, watch his eyes first, then his hands, and then his lips carefully. The most truthful things often get said without any sound at all. Now let us discuss another clear movement that shows confidence, awareness, and natural attraction at once. This happens when a man touches his hair or jawline while in your presence. Imagine standing together with him while waiting for drinks or chatting after work hours. You say something interesting and he smiles back warmly. Then you notice it happening. His hand moves toward his hair. He runs his fingers through it, adjusts it a bit, maybe smooths the back or pushes it away from his face gently. If his hair is shorter, his fingers might graze the back of his head or his jawline instead. These actions may look like meaningless motions on the surface, but they often carry a quiet purpose. He is not truly fixing his hair in that moment. He is displaying himself and showing confidence naturally. This counts as one of the oldest instincts related to attraction, like a form of preening. In nature, it resembles when a bird straightens its feathers or a lion shakes its mane proudly. It feels instinctive, subtle, and very attractive. In that exact moment, his body says, "Notice me," without using actual words. It is not about being vain at all. It is his subconscious trying to appear at his very best for you. And when he does this while smiling at you, keeping eye contact, or leaning a little closer, the message grows even clearer. He feels drawn to you strongly. He might not say those words out loud, but his gestures tell the whole story clearly. The interesting thing about all these small signals like touching the neck, lips, or hair is how naturally they appear whenever real chemistry is present. They cannot be faked very easily because they come straight from pure instinct instead of careful thought. They act as the body's soft whispers of attraction, speaking gently while the mind stays quiet. So the next time you find yourself in one of those moments where words become less important, but the tension builds nicely, just observe carefully. You might see his hand move toward his neck, his fingers brush his lips, or his palm glide over his hair smoothly. Those serve as the quiet clues of real connection, the subtle language of desire shown without any words needed. And when you notice it, you do not need to say anything back either. Just smile gently, because sometimes silence can speak much louder than anything else. In humans, those small actions, such as grooming, adjusting, fixing, or straightening, are never without meaning. They act as quiet ways of saying, "I want to look my best right now, in this moment." And when a man does this in front of you, it signals something truly important. You have caught his full attention already. Here is the basic psychology explanation. When we are near someone we find attractive, our self-awareness increases naturally. We begin thinking more about how we look, how we sound, and how others perceive us. For men, that awareness often leads to gestures highlighting their more masculine features, like the hair, the jawline, or the shoulders. Comment hair if you've seen him run his fingers through his hair while talking to you. So when he strokes his jaw or runs his fingers along his chin, it is not simply grooming. He is drawing your attention consciously or unconsciously to an area linked strongly with confidence and attraction. It is his body quietly saying, notice this, and notice me too. But here is an even deeper part worth remembering. This is not about vanity in any way. It is truly about presence and being fully there. A man who feels drawn to you becomes more aware of his own body overall. His posture straightens up naturally, his movements slow down a bit, and his gestures gain a clear purpose. He is not acting or pretending at all. He is tuning in and aligning his energy with yours warmly. When he touches his hair or jawline while keeping steady eye contact, it creates a quiet spark between you two. It shows a nice mix of assurance and curiosity at the same time. It feels almost like he is saying, I want you to see me clearly, and I want to see how you will respond. There is an interesting detail here too. Men rarely perform these actions around people they are not interested in at all. If he lacks interest, his body stays still and neutral without those small adjustments. But when attraction sparks, the change becomes quite obvious to someone paying attention. He might fix his hair, straighten his shirt, or brush his jawline as if lost in thought. He is not focused on his appearance alone. He is thinking about you mostly. So the next time you notice him doing that while looking at you, do not overthink the moment. Just smile back warmly. Because in that single small action, he shows a powerful type of attraction that is quiet, confident, and not needy or forced at all. The kind that says, you make me want to look a little better than usual around you. Now let us move to something almost every woman senses, but rarely fully understands, which involves a man's hands. When it comes to attraction, his words might try to hide the truth, but his hands reveal it very clearly. Hands count among the most expressive parts of the entire body. They show direction, emotion, and flowing energy. When a man is near someone he likes, that energy does not remain completely still. It flows through his hands naturally. Think about it for a moment. Some men talk with broad, open gestures where palms stay visible, while others keep their hands closer in pockets or fiddling with small objects. These movements are not random in any way. They act as emotional signals instead. When a man feels calm and confident around you, his hands tend to open up more freely. He might rest them on the table, use them openly while speaking, or tap lightly as you talk. Type yes if you want me to reveal all the hidden signs he really likes you. All of these show ease and real interest. But when attraction enters the picture, something shifts inside him. His hands begin translating emotions he tries to manage carefully. If during your conversation you see him touch his forearm, trace his wrist, or run a hand along the veins, that is not plain nervousness. It is energy seeking a safe release. Psychologically, it means his body channels the tension built by attraction, because attraction creates internal pressure naturally. If he cannot touch you directly, he will touch himself in small, safe ways to handle that spark. Watch for open gestures with palms facing upward or movements directed toward you instead of away. That is the body's clear way of saying, I trust you and I am open to you. It becomes a physical form of emotional availability that feels very natural. And there is something magnetic about a man whose gestures stay confident and unforced. But another element plays a role too. This involves a sense of ownership or protectiveness. Men show subtle confidence through how they use their hands. If he places a hand on his chest or stomach while talking, it feels inward, protective, sincere, and even tender. But when his hands reach outward, resting near you, maybe on the back of your chair or beside your arm, that acts as a quiet invitation. It is his way of saying, I want to be closer to you, and I am letting you into my personal space. Of course, boundaries always remain important. A confident man does not need to invade your space to show interest. His energy speaks much louder than any single action. It is the steadiness in his gestures and the relaxed openness in his body that draws you closer naturally. So the next time you are around him, notice not only what his hands do, but also where they are positioned. Are they withdrawn or reaching out, creating a feeling of connection? Because when a man likes you, his hands will always tell the honest truth. They move with quiet purpose. They express interest without words, and they reveal the tension he tries to keep under control. That quiet pull of attraction he cannot hide, no matter how calm he appears on the outside. Now there is another small yet very revealing gesture when a man touches his lower face, his chin, jaw, or the area around his mouth while you are speaking. At first, it might look like he is simply thinking or resting his hand there comfortably, but there is much more happening underneath. In psychology, this is often called an anchor touch. It occurs when someone feels emotionally involved, but works hard to stay composed. It is like their body's method of grounding itself, silently saying, stay calm and keep it together. When a man touches his lower face while listening to you, it is often because you have captured his attention so fully that his body needs a small outlet to manage the strong focus. Picture this situation. You are telling him a story, feeling relaxed and smiling. He stays quiet with his eyes locked on you completely. Then his fingers move to his chin. He rubs it lightly or lets a knuckle rest near his lips. He is not distracted at all. He is anchoring himself in the moment. That gentle touch is his body's way of saying, I am so drawn in and I need to steady myself. Because true attraction pulls someone out of their head and into their body more deeply. Touching the lower face helps him control that flowing energy. The face, especially the mouth and jaw, connects deeply to expression. It is where emotions show clearly, where words and connections form. So when his hand lingers there, it is never random. It is subconscious communication at work. He is directing attention to a part of himself that represents both vulnerability and the desire to connect. There is also a quiet shift between confidence and openness in this gesture. If he strokes his chin with his head slightly tilted, it shows confidence. He is observing, evaluating, and maybe even flirting through that stillness. But if his hand covers his mouth or brushes his lips softly, that shows vulnerability. His body reveals emotion while he tries to contain it gently. These are the moments that say the most without any sound at all. Because when it is real, attraction is not performed or acted out. It seeps through movements too small to fake easily. Share this with a friend who needs to know these attraction signals before it's too late. It lives in the hands, the jaw, the lips, the stillness, and the small flickers of energy that speak louder than words ever could. And here is where it becomes even more fascinating. When he touches his lower face, it often happens right when the emotional charge between you reaches its highest point. Maybe you said something that surprised him, made him think deeply, or caused him to feel something stronger than expected. His hand goes to his jaw or mouth, as if to pause the rush of thoughts and emotions passing through him. It is not just a habit. It is a natural reaction to the pull he feels toward you. His body grounds itself right then and there. And you can see the signs clearly. The slight change in his breathing, the softening in his eyes, and the small pause before he speaks again. That is the unspoken language of attraction happening right in front of you. What is even more interesting is how these touches create patterns over time. When you notice him touching his jaw, neck, lips, or hair repeatedly during a conversation, it is never a coincidence. It is his subconscious showing how much energy he manages around you. Each gesture works as a small release, a signal that says, "You affect me deeply." And you will begin noticing it more once you slow down and observe instead of overthinking everything. Because men, especially those trying to look calm, often do not realize how much their bodies reveal without words. They might believe they hide their feelings well, but their movements tell the complete story every time. Now think about how this appears in a social setting. You walk into a room, he notices you right away. And within seconds, his posture changes noticeably. Maybe he straightens up, adjusts his jacket, or smooths his hair quickly. His body wakes up to your presence before his mind fully catches up. And as you talk, you see those familiar gestures appear again. A touch to his jaw, fingers running through his hair, or his hand brushing his lips. Each one of these is a tiny flare of awareness, a non-verbal admission that he is completely tuned into you. Here is the secret most people never realize fully. Attraction is not loud or obvious most of the time. It is not found in grand gestures or perfect compliments, but in the small moments when someone naturally loses a little control. Those brief reactions reveal what words often hide because they come from instinct, not performance. Another subtle sign is when his body mirrors yours. He leans when you lean, smiles when you smile, or matches your tone and pace. When this happens alongside gestures like rubbing his jaw or neck after you touch your face or hair, it can reflect a natural sense of connection and emotional alignment. You may also notice how he positions himself around you. He angles his body toward you, looks for reasons to stay nearby, adjusts his sleeve, or keeps his hands close enough for you to notice. These are often signs that his attention is naturally focused on you rather than calculated behavior. If any of these touches shocked you, comment "alert" below. Attraction is often seen in these quiet responses: the nervous laugh, the unconscious touch to his neck, or the way he straightens up when you enter the room. At the same time, remember that context always matters. A single gesture does not automatically mean attraction because habits and everyday nervousness can look similar. The real meaning comes from the pattern, timing, and emotional atmosphere, especially when these signs appear with shared laughter, steady eye contact, or comfortable silence. So instead of rushing to conclusions, simply observe. Sometimes the quiet moments between words reveal far more than any grand declaration ever could. It is a spark hidden in gestures, a rhythm shared in small, unplanned movements. You do not have to chase it or question it endlessly. Just feel it naturally. Because when it is real, it does not need long explanations. It reveals itself in the simplest ways possible. A glance, a smile, or a touch that lingers half a second too long. That is how you know something deeper is taking shape between you. And once you start seeing these signs, you will realize connection is not spoken aloud. It is felt, lived, and silently communicated through every tiny, beautiful movement that says without words, "I see you and I am drawn to you." Like this video, comment which touch, neck, lips, hair, or hands you notice most, and subscribe for more psychology facts on love and attraction.